Hello guys and welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today bringing you yet another video. Now today's going to be a little bit more of an informative video, just help you guys out more or less. And we're going to be finding out what's the right sensitivity for you and how you can make it a little bit more comfortable for you when you're playing Splatoon. So basically the goal of this video is to help you feel comfortable moving or using motion controls and all that type of jazz. There are many different types of things that play into this. To be more specific, there's about 4, or technically you can say 5 because of one of 2 things. One of them would be your in-game sensitivity. Of course, you have to pick one of those in Splatoon. The other one would be the specs on your gaming monitor. The third one would be recalibration in your motion controls and your sticks, which would be the 4th one. And the last one would be your Wii U's output resolution. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about that applies with sensitivity and response time, mainly for the response time, is your gaming monitor. Personally, if you want to play with the best response time in the gaming monitors, you would want to have at least a 21.5 inch to 27 inch monitor. The response time being around 2 milliseconds or 1 millisecond or sometimes 5 milliseconds if you can control it. But ideally, you would want one that has 2 milliseconds or 1 millisecond for the best response time. Another thing that I want you guys to do is that if you do have one of these monitors or a gaming monitor that has these types of specs, I would want you to put this into game mode. Now, unfortunately, game mode isn't the most prettiest thing to look at, but if you guys can get used to the picture quality, it would be great, because first of all, game mode will give you a much faster response time in terms of pressing buttons and moving your motion controls, so your accuracy would be a lot more precise. Now, the other thing I would like you to do is something that I actually do every single time I play Splatoon now. Like I'm doing this religiously, you guys don't know. So it's basically recalibration. Now, there's this one problem that a lot of people have been having with in terms of their sticks. People have told me that the direction that you push your stick isn't correct. And I've found this method on the Nintendo website, on the help website or something. And it's recalibrating your sticks. And how you do this is that you have to press A, B, plus, and minus all at the same time. You have to hold these down and you have to wait for 3 seconds. Now, no message will pop up. This is what Nintendo have said on their website. No message will pop up, but this will recalibrate your sticks. And I do believe this works because, first of all, I've had this problem as well where I'll push forward and my stick would, my inkling would go to the left. And since I've been doing this, my inkling is going forward as it should be. So my sticks have been recalibrated. All the directions this inkling is actually going, it's input incorrectly. But the reason for why you do this, because this is actually another important thing when controlling motion controls. If you notice, when you sidestep or press the left stick to the left and to the right, your crosshair would move. So basically, aiming does apply in the left stick slightly. And you want this to be consistent as possible because you want to be aiming precisely. Another form of recalibration is recalibrating your motion controls. Now, this is probably one of the most important things. Now, basically what you need to do is press the home button on your Wii U gamepad, and you need to hold Y and B. Now, you need to hold this for 3 seconds and a window will pop up saying revert to default or collaborate. Now, what you want to do is press collaborate, and you need to put your gamepad on a flat surface so it collaborates properly. What this will do is make your motion controls slightly more accurate. Now, I highly recommend that you do this every single time you turn on Splatoon, because when you turn off your Wii U and then you turn it back on again, it does not keep that collaboration. So make sure that you do this again, because it will make your aiming a lot more consistent and you'll be used to the same motion collaboration that you did before. Another one is your Wii U's output resolution. Now, you do this in your system setting. Usually, if you do have a monitor or TV that is in 1920 by 1080p, you should have the options of 1080p, 1080i, 720p, and 480p. Now, really, I want you to experiment with all of these. Personally, I found out that when I make my Wii U's resolution slightly lower, I have a much faster response time when moving motion controls and putting inputs in. You guys have probably noticed this because a few of my latest videos have been 480p. It really depends on what you like, honestly. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply for every single monitor because I've had people tell me that they've turned their Wii U settings so low as 720p or 480p, and their input lag was a lot more apparent, that it would input slower. But do experiment with all of these, because I personally found out that the resolution that works for me the best is actually 1080i, which is 1080p but interlace video. I'm not going to go into specifics of what interlace means and what 1080p is as well, but I get the fastest response time in 1080i. Personally, I was on the verge of taking 480p or 1080i. I actually get both the same response time in both of these settings, but for me, I personally picked 1080i is for the picture quality and the good response time as well. So that's pretty much why I run this one. Now, once you've done all of these things, the last thing that you would have to do is find out your in-game sensitivity. Now, my one's pretty much unchanged, but I feel 20 times more comfortable playing Splatoon at -1.5. Now, for the last 2 months, I've been experimenting with every single sensitivity. I've picked up 5+ sensitivity. I've tried 3+. I've tried -5. I've tried -3. I've tried literally every single sensitivity. And my conclusion of finding your in-game sensitivity is basically how much you want to move your wrist and how much you want to move your arms. If you're the type of person that slightly moves their wrist, then most likely a plus sensitivity is going to be for you. If you're the type of person that uses a lot of motion with your wrists, then most likely a minus sensitivity is for you. You honestly have to try out every single sensitivity to find out which is the most comfortable for you. And one thing I like to do when finding which sensitivity would be right for me is that if I can accurately snap on to the dummies in the test firing range. Usually what I'm looking for is that if there's a little bit of jitter or if I'm overshooting my motion like pull, I don't even know how to explain it, but like basically if I aim at something and try to snap onto it, if I miss it by like a huge ton, or I miss it and then have to go back for it. But to conclude on this entire video, please do experiment with these, like especially with your Wii U resolution. I've been doing this for about 2 months now, just experimenting which type of sensitivity and which type of settings would be the best for me. And I genuinely feel like that I am the most comfortable I have ever been playing Splatoon right now. And with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please do experiment with this, just try it out. Try all these settings. Remember to collaborate all your sticks and motion controls as well. And pretty much that is all for me. If you enjoyed this video, please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous. And as always, guys, this has been ThatSrb2Dude, and I shall see you guys in a future video.